How's it going? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're doing something a little different that we normally don't do on the channel. It involves movies. For anyone who knows me, you'll know I'm a huge horror fan, in particular 80's horror. So I thought today we'd do a little tier list of popular horror films from the 80's. There's 15 horror films on here, not in any particular order. They're sort of random. I just went to a bunch of different lists and picked out their top picks or whatever, and just put a bunch of random films that I've seen on here. So I thought I'd do this, and you guys can put in the comments if you agree with my list or not. For those who don't know what a tier list is, it's basically a tier list. You go from S to D. The S tier is the best tier. That's A plus if you're looking at grades. Then A, B, C, D is it goes lower. D being the worst for this tier list in particular. I think you can add more, but this is just a basic one that I'm going to go with. I know the tier list craze has been going on for a while, and I'm kind of late to do this, so whatever. Let's just get into it, I guess. Well, from looking at this list, I can already tell I'm probably going to want to put all these at S tier, which isn't good. But I guess we'll start. The first film on here is Fright Night. It's a great film. I love it. I guess I'll do a description of all these films as I go through for those who haven't seen them, which I feel like most people have seen all these, but Fright Night is about this guy, this kid, and basically neighbor is a vampire, and that's Fright Night. It's really good though. I don't really want to give a lot away, but there's also a remake. I like the remake. I love Anton Yelchin, rest in peace. He's a great actor, so any film he's in I love, so I like both of them. The original though, I mean, there's some, I like the effects and stuff, but some of the dialogue and stuff's kind of not too great. I don't know. I'm gonna put this in B tier. You should still watch it though. The next film is Gremlins. I watch Gremlins a lot. I'll probably put this as an S tier film, just because I watch it so much. Me and Courtney actually just watched it the other night. It's a great film. If you haven't seen Gremlins, go watch it. Helped with Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, make the PG-13 rating, so it's groundbreaking. There we go, S tier. Aliens. This is more of an action film than a horror film, although it is a horror film also. It's really great. See, I want to put a lot of stuff in S tier, but I shouldn't do that. A lot of people aren't going to like this list. I'm going to put Aliens at an A tier. A for Aliens. There we go. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I think, is really good. It's funny. It's a more comedic tone than the first film. It has Chop Top in it, which is great. Compared to what I can see with a lot of these other films, though, I don't know if I would watch this again as much as the other films that I already have listed, so I think I'm going to put this in my C tier. If you like Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I'm sorry. You should still watch it. It's still a really good film. Just compared to the rest of these, probably not. Also, I'm about to put Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, in C tier as well. You know what? I'm actually going to put it in B tier. I really like the film. I know a lot of people don't like it because it doesn't have Michael Myers, although it does for a second, but it's still a really good story. I like it a lot. Cyborgs, the Easter Island heads, masks that kill kids and turn their heads into snakes. It's a pretty crazy film, so I'd recommend that. Also, I forgot to do a description of Aliens and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and Gremlins. I'm already failing at this video. Aliens is aliens. They find aliens. Gremlins is a film with a bunch of gremlins that terrorize a town on Christmas. It is a Christmas movie. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is about like a radio DJ host. I forget exactly. I haven't seen it in a while. And she, I believe she gets taken by them. I forget exactly. It's pretty insane. You can watch it if you want. All right. On to the next one. Evil Dead, I'm going to put at S tier. I love this film. It's probably one of my favorite movies. It's a film that got me into wanting to make films. I love Sam Raimi. Love the first Evil Dead. It's pretty amazing. About a group of college students who go to a cabin in the woods, and then they start getting possessed, and they have to kill each other. It's pretty awesome. Watch it. Friday the 13th, the original one. I'm gonna put this film at D tier. It's boring. It is so boring. I don't know if any of you have seen the original Friday the 13th in a while, but it's boring. Friday the 13th is just about these kids out of summer camp who get killed off. No Jason Voorhees in this. Well, he's in the film, but he's not the killer. And, I mean, it has Kevin Bacon, which is great, his first film. Other than that, it's just them doing stuff, and nothing really happens. They play, like, strip Monopoly, which is boring to watch. And the whole film's just, like, it's, like, trying to fill up runtime. Tom Savini did the kills, though, so they're great, but it's just a boring film. The original Nightmare on Elm Street. This movie, I'm going to put at A tier. It's great. I love it a lot. I used to be obsessed with it as a kid. I would watch all the time. I would actually watch Freddy's Revenge, the second one, all the time. Me and my brother used to laugh at that film when he would jump up and do the little... Yeah. And, but the first one's awesome. Johnny Depp is in it. There's not really a lot I can say. It's about, Freddy Krueger in your nightmares, killing people. Great film. It's only at A tier because I'm going to nitpick because I don't want to put too much stuff at S tier. But when Freddy Krueger pulls the mother in through the window, it's obviously fake. Even though I like that. I like that it looks fake. I don't know. It makes it feel more like a movie. Like they were making a movie, I guess. I don't know. It's a weird thing. But, I mean, and other than that, some of the performances aren't so great. I don't know. I'm just putting it at A tier. Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, I actually think was like the first horror film I've ever watched. My best friend Christopher, his dad, let us watch that when we were young. And then we were like, oh, we need to watch the first one. We went and snuck and watched The Evil Dead, the original one, which was traumatizing. Shouldn't have done that. We were like in like second grade or something. But Evil Dead 2 is, a lot of people consider it the best one. I've talked to a lot of people where I'm like, oh, have you seen The Evil Dead? They're like, oh, the one where it's like funny and he gets the chainsaw in his hand. And I'm like, oh, that's Evil Dead 2. So a lot of people think Evil Dead 2 is the first film. I don't know if anyone else has run into that. That happens all the time with me. But I think it's great. It's funny. But I think I like the original one better. It's just more scary to me. So I'm going to put Evil Dead 2 at A tier. Yeah, I'll put it there. I think Aliens is still production-wise better than Nightmare on Elm Street. Then I think Nightmare on Elm Street, story-wise, is better than Evil Dead 2. And then Friday Night is better than Halloween 3. So, the original Pet Sematary, and I say original since there is a new one that came out. It's okay. I guess I'll put this at C tier. It's kind of hard to watch now. I remember when I watched it as a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrifying when he got hit by the car. And then when he came back and was dressed up as Zelda or the mother. I can't remember exactly. I was just like, what? Weird stuff. But I watched it recently, and it's just like, okay. And that's really all I have to say about that. Pet Cemetery, is a cemetery where you bury pets, they come back to life, and he buries his son, and he comes back to kill them. So that's Pet Cemetery, and it is at C tier below Chainsaw Massacre 2. Sleepaway Camp. So Sleepaway Camp is awesome. Very underrated. Not really anymore. I heard about this film a while ago, although I know there is like a cult following. A lot of people, I've noticed, love this film as well, especially for the wacky ending, which honestly I think the film can take away that ending, and I think it would still be great. Yeah, it's like a Friday the 13th clone, but it's funny, and I like it, and it has actual like kids doing summer camp things. Although it's just like weird, like they do water balloon fights on like the roof of a cabin and stuff, and they play baseball, and it's like a whole scene of them playing baseball. Yeah, Sleepaway Camp. That's going to be, for me, I'll put that at B tier. I'll put it between Fright Night and Fright Night and Halloween 3. The Blob. You know what? I'm going to put this I'm going to put The Blob at S tier. That movie's, you should go watch The Blob. I know a lot of people have not seen The Blob. I think everyone's heard of The Blob. At least, like, heard the name. The 1988 version is awesome. The Blob is great. It was directed by Chuck Russell. He directed Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors, I think the year before this film. But The Blob is awesome. You should watch it. It's funny. It's cool. They kill a kid, like, gruesomely. I don't know if you would like that, but I think it's pretty insane. And it's just an awesome film. So that's The Blob. And The Blob's about a blob that eats people. So The Fly. David Cronenberg's The Fly. Great film. Jeff Goldblum. It's really good. Yeah, it's just about a guy, turns into a fly monster thing. It's like a love story type horror, monster horror, body horror. There we go. It's a good film. I'll put this at A tier. Probably going to put it above Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's a more solid film. That's just me. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. I like The Shining. I watched it. I think it's a good film. I know a lot of people say it's a masterpiece. I think some parts are boring. I think the horror in it is really good. But I'm probably going to put it at... No, I'll put it at a low B tier. I would probably watch all these other films before I'd watch The Shining. But that's just me. Then last is The Thing. John Carpenter's Thing. This is probably my favorite horror film. Next to Evil Dead. I'm putting this above above Gremlins. It's S tier. Awesome film. Go watch it. One of the best films ever made. Way superior to the original that it was based off of, which I know the original director of that said he hated it or didn't like it, didn't approve, something like that. But I think this is a way better film. It's awesome body horror, awesome effects, all practical effects. A great film. Alright, so now I'm going to go through this list and I'm going to change it a bit if I want to. Evil Dead I'll probably put above Gremlins, although Gremlins is a more fun to watch film. So I think the S tier looks pretty good. A tier I think looks pretty good. B tier is good. C, and then my D tier. Alright, well, that is my 80s horror film tier list with 15 of the top horror films from multiple lists that I found randomly. Let me know what you think. In the description will be this tier maker, so you can go in and you can, make it has the same films in it. You can do the tier yourself, and you can tweet at me photos of it. This is my Twitter right here, at Caven_Mulvey. I want to see your 80s horror film tier list compared to mine. Let me know in the comments what you would change about it if you want. If you don't want to send me the tier list and do it all yourself, you don't have to. But yeah, this is my 80s horror film tier list. Probably going to do a 70s horror film tier. I'll probably go from the 70s to now with a horror film tier list with like 15 films for each. Basically the same thing I just did, but with other films. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, share if you like my tier list. Have a good day.
My people love the spooky, spooky movies. My people love those spooky, spooky movies. Yeah.